Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. By the authority given in the statutes of the Open University, I declare this congregation open for the conferment of degrees and the presentation of graduates. Distinguished guests, graduates, family and friends, it is an absolute privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the 12th of our 2022 degree ceremonies. I'm delighted to welcome to the ceremony key supporters of the university who have found time to be with us today, and of course offer a very special welcome to our honorary graduand, Dr. Audrey Brown. We're delighted, Audrey, to be able to honour you today. Every year, the OU awards a range of qualifications that you've all worked very hard for, from certificates of higher education to doctorates. And during 2022, more than 8,000 graduates will achieve their qualifications at our degree ceremonies. For all of my colleagues, and certainly for me, these are absolute highlights of the year, and it's fantastic to be able to celebrate your success. We have ceremonies throughout England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. You are graduating today from the largest university in Europe with an absolutely extraordinary scale, scope and reach. The success of the OU is down to what our graduates achieve, and it's not just the qualification that you're presented for today, but it's the difference that you go out and make with that qualification. It goes without saying that today is very important, an important occasion for your life, your graduates, your families, your loved ones, and of course for the university and all of my colleagues who I hope you feel have nurtured and supported you. So you could be forgiven for thinking that on an occasion with all the pomp and ceremony of the robes, that this needs to be solemn. But we hope that we'll prove you wrong. We want today in every way to be a day of celebration. So can I just say, Yorkshire, I will be very disappointed if anyone crosses the stage to anything less than thunderous applause or shouts of "Go Granny," or in whatever other way you choose to express your enthusiasm and support. So I think we should start with a practice. Graduates, could those of you who are able to do so please stand up for a moment? Thank you. Families, friends, OU colleagues, let's start the ceremony by giving today's amazing graduates a huge round of applause. Always one of the noisiest. It's an excellent start. Graduates, you can sit down again. We'll embarrass you some more shortly. There's another way that you can show your appreciation to your graduate today. Please do post messages and photos on social media. And we like to use the hashtag OUFamily to share your congratulations and celebrations with all of the wider OU community. We'll start today's ceremony with a presentation of graduates who've gained higher degrees and first degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Engineering and Bachelor of Laws. And our graduates will be presented by my colleague Mr. Billy Coker, who is Head of Student Support in Academic Services. Once we've awarded those degrees, we will then see the awarding of the honorary degree of Master of the University to Dr. Audrey Brown. And I'm delighted that Professor Hazel Reimer, Emeritus Professor of Environmental Volcanology, yes, she's a specialist in volcanoes, in our Faculty of Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics, is going to present Dr. Brown, who will sign our honorary graduates book and make her reply. Then we'll continue the presentation of graduates with those who've gained Bachelor of Science degrees, foundation degrees and diplomas of higher education. And I'll conclude the ceremony with my final address to the graduates. So I now call upon Mr. Coker to present graduates.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I shall now present graduates who have gained higher degrees and have been able to attend here today. For the degree of Master of Arts in Creative Writing, I present Maria Izdebski. Sofia Vigo Di Calidoro. For the degree of Master of Arts in Crime and Justice, I present Fiona Barton. Joanne Cook. For the degree of Master of Arts in Education, I present Barbara Grant. For the degree of Master of Arts in Online and Distance Education, I present Rebecca Hobbs. Karen Williamson. Catherine Lees. Paulette Johnson. Amanda Torbett. For the degree of Master of Arts in English, I present John Evans. Claire Hutchings-Budd. For the degree of Master of Arts in History, I present Amy Thorpe. For the degree of Master of Arts Open, I present Sally Hodges. For the degree of Master of Arts in Philosophy, I present David Rowlands. For the degree of Master of Arts in Translation, I present Danielle Smith. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, I present Sam Bailey. Stephanie Booth. Stephen Downing. Gordon Inglis. Angela Candola. Amy Stocker. Eve Truskowska. For the degree of Master of Business Administration and a Master of Arts Open, I present John Zebb. For the degree of Master of Business Administration Leadership Practice, I present Paula Bock. Eddie Emsworth. Natalie Glover. Steve Hickson. Carl Hodges. Carolyn Lee. Sophie Patterson. Teresa Putnam. Terry Rowe. For the degree of Master of Education, I present Saida Hassan. Alison Ebert. Helen Goddard. Michaela Pratt. For the degree of Master of Science in Advancing Healthcare Practice, I present Andy Land. Bosid Oni. For the degree of Master of Science in Computing, I present Gary Byrne. Mark Greenwood. Jane Sedman. For the degree of Master of Science in Earth Science, I present Julian Websdale. For the degree of Master of Science in Finance, I present Charlotte Palmer. For the degree of Master of Science in Human Resource Management, I present Olubumi Oyamomi. For the degree of Master of Science in Science, I present Victoria Hudson. For the degree of Master of Science in System Thinking in Practice, I present Samantha Hinchcliffe. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I shall now present graduates who have gained Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Engineering and Bachelor of Laws degrees and have been able to attend here today. The full subject details are printed in the insert within the ceremony programme. I present for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bahira Abu Shamat. Lisa Andrew. Dickie Barnett. Amy Beck. Gareth Bennett. Khadija Bibi. Charlotte Birch. Nikki Bird. Bethany Blackwell. Lindy Blanchard. Sally Bowden. Christine Boyle. Claire Bradley. Marek Hoffman. Jean Brooksbrand. Claire Brown. Danielle Brown. Judy Bryan. Andrea Bytheway. Scott Catania. David Chu. Sally Chinnery. Stephen Christine. Jade Clarkson. Laura Cole. Catherine Connaughton. Charlotte Louise Cook. Dennis Costigan. Peter Cotton. Ruth Cosworth. Zulekha Daud. Kelly Dawn. Louise Denby. Kirsty Drakes. Evans. Kirsty Evans. Laura Faraday. Alison Fenton. Fiona Fisher. Adele Fitzsimmons. Sue Francis. Stephanie Frost. Rebecca Gibson. Kelly Goodall. Kirsty Gregory. Lisa Gregory. Mandy Gray. Gracie Hallam. Lindsay Harris. Samantha Harris. Andrea Harrison. Ellie Hartley. Corinne Harvey. Joseph Heaton. Karen Heelan. Shelley Henderson. Kelsey Hewitt. Jackie Hickson. Leonie Hinch. Claire Hurst. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, on behalf of the late Edward Hughes, I present his fiancée, Frances Moore. Sanam Imran. Claire Jackson. Kimberly Jessup. Nicola Johnson. Rachel Johnson. Michelle Juden. Simon Lakeland. Lisa Major. Leonie Martin. Melinda Milnes. Eleanor Mooney. Edgar Moore. Amy Morehouse. Katie Morley. Rachel Morrison. Angela Mort. Alan Murphy. Kesu Mutanen. Anthea Og. Brent Olford. Mark Pashley. Catherine Peel. Shauna Perry. Stephen Petrie. Emma Pickering. Lucy Pope. Natasha Price. Victoria Prout. Malcolm Ranson. Helen Rayner. Joanne Robinson. James Robson. Helen Rose. Danielle Rowley. Emma Ruiz. Charlotte Russell. Mary Sample. Christina Sidery. Andrea Slobodnikova. Deborah Smith. Claire Smithson. Samantha Sunter. Helen Sutcliffe. Kat Swift. Leah Swift. Sarah Tosca Lynch. Sue Taylor. Sarah Tier. Lisa Thurkettle. Carrie Tide. Sophie Wager. Sandra Waller. Jennifer Walls. Chris Ward. Teresa Wardrobe. Jenny Westray. Christine White. Jeanette White. Lindsay Williams. Lisa Wilson. Kaylee Wingfield. Catherine Wood. Paul Wright. Susanna Young. Daoud Youssef. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering, I present Ewan Beedon.
We'll take a selfie, haven't we?
Kyle Boskill. Christopher Brooks. Sam Coyle. Mark Crane. Jonathan Ewan. Austin Findlay. Heather Power. Thomas Robinson. Dumisani Sibanda. For the degree of Bachelor of Laws, I present Zunaira Ahmed. Holly Beardsworth. Karen Bell. David Collett. Tiffany Daniels. Stacey Evans. Alex Holmes. Jack Hudson. Kelly Hunt. Adam Kennedy. Rebecca Mason. Maha Nazir. Grace Rattigan. Hafiz Suleiman. Emmeline Tandok. For the degree of Bachelor of Laws, on behalf of the late Michael Wilson, I present his wife Kathy and son Tom.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, colleagues, graduates, guests. Dr. Audrey Brown is a scientist and teacher who has made an extraordinary contribution to the Open University and to her local community in Cumbria. Dr. Brown read zoology and comparative physiology at Queen Mary, University of London, later undertaking research into hormone systems in fish for her PhD in biology. She first worked for the Open University in 1976 as a tutor on the second-level biology summer school, before joining the staff as a module tutor the following year. For more than 40 years, Dr. Brown was an integral member of the science staff at the Open University, teaching across the sciences at every level. She taught on modules as disparate as health and disease and our chemical environment, as well as writing one of the hugely popular science short courses on human nutrition. She was frequently called upon to advise on the development of new modules and methods, and received an Open University Teaching Award for her research into adult learning and study skills. Dr. Brown was an outstanding representative of her peers, chairing the Associate Lecturers Committee and representing associate lecturers in various forms of governance, including Faculty Board, Academic Board, the Senate, and the Council, where she served 2 terms. She also became an Open University student herself, pursuing her interest in geology, which not only gave her an understanding of life on the other side, but also informed her wider work and interests. Dr. Brown has long been involved in efforts to understand and preserve the natural environment in and around the Lake District. During her long involvement with the Westmoreland Geological Society, she has served as both Field Secretary and Vice President, enabling students and volunteers to enrich their understanding of earth sciences through lectures and field trips. In 1990, Dr. Brown was one of the founding members of the Cumbria Geoconservation Group, formerly known as Cumbria RIGS, and is now its president. This voluntary group has documented around 300 regionally important geological sites, that's the RIGS bit, in the county, recording the detailed geology and ensuring the continued integrity of the sites. Dr. Brown has been involved in leading geological walks and producing information boards and publicity leaflets to encourage visits to the sites by the public to better appreciate the landscape and geological inheritance of Cumbria. Dr. Brown has studied the geological landscape in sites from Norway to Nepal and South America to the Sahara Desert. She has been awarded the Charles Edmonds Prize from the Cumberland Geological Society for her contribution to geological understanding in Cumbria. In recent years, she has become a passionate advocate for geocaching, and particularly its geological branch, earth catching, as a means of connecting more people with the landscape using modern technology. Dr. Brown's career exemplifies the values at the heart of the Open University: outstanding teaching and research that inspires generations of students and which makes a meaningful difference in the wider world. It is a pleasure to honour her lifetime contribution to our institution and scientific community. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, by the authority of the Senate, I present to you, for the honorary degree of Master of the University, Dr. Audrey Brown.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Professor Reimer, ex-colleagues, graduates, guests. This is, of course, a huge honour for me. Thank you so much. Although, as you've heard, I've always thought of myself as primarily a tutor, although I've had various roles in the OU. And I've enjoyed getting to know hundreds of students in my time, many of whom, like many of you probably, have had to overcome all sorts of obstacles to complete their modules and finally graduate. When I started working for the OU back in the last century, there were many fewer pressures on the students' time. Initially, we didn't even have computers, let alone all the distractions provided by the current crop of electronic devices. You deserve particular praise for completing your degrees with all the distractions that there are now. And tutorials were not online for me, but were real meetings in real rooms with real students. I could put on a tutorial on a weekday evening or a Saturday, invite my students, and most of them would come. I've never had quite this big a turnout, though. And TMAs were written by hand on pieces of paper, sealed in an envelope and put in the post, unless the student was running close to the deadline. And then just before midnight, I'd hear footsteps on the gravel drive and a thud as the TMA dropped through the letterbox. And of course, commenting on script was much trickier on paper than it is now. As a tutor, if you made a mistake or wanted to reword your comment or found a point that you were looking for on the next page, there wasn't a delete button. There was just Tipp-Ex, correction fluid. Does anyone know what that is now? It's like white paint that covers over what you've written and you can write something different on top of it. But times change, and the rise of technology will have brought all sorts of extra benefits to your studies. I'm very humbled to join the ranks of OU honorary graduates. I've sat on platforms like this many times, listening to acceptance speeches, or at least trying to listen, because the acoustics are not good when you're sitting behind the speaker. So it won't strain the ears of those behind me or of you in front any longer. This is a huge honour, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, continuing the presentation of graduates, I shall now present those who have gained Bachelor of Science degrees, foundation degrees and diplomas of higher education and have been able to attend here today. The full subject details are printed in the insert within the ceremony programme. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, I present Stuart Aird. Jennifer Anderson. Kevin Baster. Jill Bennison. Olivia Bennett. Martin Benson. Kerry Blanton. Hannah Bradish. Holly Brooks. George Bertoff. Patience Tijiri. Holly Clark. Gareth Cotton. Lisa Coleman. Janine Craig. Kate Crowther. Julia Davis. Eric Dean. Nicola Dinsdale. Adrian Donahue. Bav Dougal. Katrina Dyson. Becca Edwards. Niall Ecklas. Sarah Ellingson. Harriet Foley. Bettina Foyce. Christina Freer. Christian Freer. Ian Glendinning. Alexander Gilmore. Raúl González Molina. Mandy Guest. Susan Hill. Sarah Hudson. Natalie Holmes. Chloe Hudson. Laura Ingham. Joshua Eisenring. Bethany Kellett. Jessica Kerridge. Nicola Neal. Chris Leach. Gemma Lee. Rosanna Lees. Ryan Lodge. James Looker. Jade Lund. Lindsay MacDonald. Tony McGee. Amy McGinn. Liam Montgomery. Katie Morris. Louise Morton. Lindsay Murphy. Grania Nicholson. Sumaya Patel. Hayley Pearson. Katie Radford Haig. Beth Reeder. J.D. Riley. Freya Rennie. Nathan Rayner. Donna Rowe. Jack Sampson. Joe Shorrock. Kerry Simpson. Janice Smith. Sarah Salisbury. Lauren Spencer. Catherine Stead. Callum Stewart. Nikki Stokes. Barbara Stringer. Walayat Suleiman. Victoria Taylor. Hannah Teklo. Hannah Thompson. Hayley Tulloch. Roisin Valuli. Chloe Wainwright. Samantha Walden. Nicola Walker. Tracy Ward. Mel Wareham. Beth Watson. Sally Watson. Susanna Webb. David Webster. Philip Weekly. Tony Wielden. Catherine Whittaker. Lisa Whiteman. Gareth Williams. Ian Wollstonecroft. Samantha Woolbridge. For a foundation degree, I present Julie Artley. Michelle Coleman. Helen Fraser. Fiona Griffin. Joanne Howard. And for a Diploma of Higher Education, I present Alexander Davidson. Claire McKenna.
Well, you can see why this is one of the best bits of my job, right? It is a huge privilege for me to share these occasions with our graduates. After the past couple of years, it is even better to be back in person to share this special moment. I always enjoy the range of expressions and reactions as people walk towards me across the stage. There are a few of you who, frankly, just look like you want me to get out of the way and let you off the stage as fast as possible. There are a few who are just hugely relieved that they're at the end of their journey. And there are a few who want to share a little bit about their story. And I realised pretty quickly after doing OU graduation ceremonies a few times that I really need waterproof mascara. Some of you are, of course, hoping that I won't stop you to chat and you will be able to get off the stage as quickly as possible. But whatever reaction, I hope you all feel as I do, that we've had a really joyful afternoon and can maybe just about lift the roof off this rather amazing venue here in Harrogate. Now, those of you who are graduating, you are focused on getting across the stage without falling over, and so you don't see the looks that we see on the stage of pride and awe and delight in the faces of your audience, your supporters, and of course my OU colleagues. And we all know what an amazing group of graduates you are. I really do believe that Open University graduates are the most extraordinary graduates of any university in the world. And in case anyone doesn't believe me, I think I can prove it if you will indulge me, graduates, and raise your hand. So how many of you have helped bring up a family while you've been studying? Lots of hands there. How many of you, yes, indeed. How many of you have had caring responsibilities during your study? How many of you have been employed or doing voluntary work at some point during your study? And how many of you have dealt with health issues or studied while dealing with a disability? I honestly don't know what better illustration there could be to show what a fantastic and amazing group of graduates we have. And from today forward, you are joining an exclusive alumni club of more than 500,000 OU graduates in just about every country in the world. People who, like you, have studied part-time while holding down a job, bringing up a family, caring for dependent relatives, or possibly all of the above. And then that means we sometimes get a little bit frustrated when people talk about part-time study with the Open University. When I was at university, I had lectures and labs to get to and a significant commitment to the student bar, but it's all wrong that I was considered a full-time student. That's all I did for 3 years. OU students are not part-time students. You have been double and triple-time students, and you should be so very proud of what you have achieved. And it also gives me a chance to say how proud I am that you've achieved this with a university that has phenomenal impact throughout a just over 50-year history. A university that is proud to have given you a very high-quality education. We've been in a class of our own for just over 50 years. And you might not realise it, but OU scientists have been involved in pretty much every major space mission since the Apollo moon landing in 1969. From the ocean to the universe, our world-leading research has shaped understanding of the seas and the skies. And our commitment to research and societal impact has just been recognised recently. 82% of our research impact was assessed to be either world-leading or internationally excellent by the Research Excellence Framework. These results are a welcome acknowledgement of how our researchers' work transforms lives, shapes policy, and tackles critical challenges across the UK's 4 nations and beyond. And of course, fundamental to the OU's mission is that we take that knowledge from the world-class researchers into the teaching that we deliver to you and into people's living rooms. Since the early 1970s, the OU and BBC partnership has broadcast thousands of hours of jaw-dropping programmes. I'm guessing a few people in the audience have seen the recent series The Green Planet. Actually, a staggering 2/3 of the UK population have watched that, and millions more worldwide. And that and other OU BBC co-productions have a total viewing and listening figure for 2020 to 2021 of 287 million people, which is jaw-dropping. And when so many of the things in those programmes come from research done by the same OU researchers who wrote materials in your modules, I think that is just a phenomenal impact for any university to have. We know in the world of work that over 70 of the FTSE 100 companies sponsor staff to study with the OU. And all the way from small companies to the NHS, the OU inspires employers and employees to create better futures. A UK government survey found that employers perceive part-time students to be hard-working, committed and disciplined. No kidding, right? And employers do recognise the importance of those qualities in their staff. We're always open. Anyone can take their pick of 1,000 free bite-sized courses on our award-winning site OpenLearn. The Open University playlist on the BBC Ideas platform features OU academics and OU research, has over 40 short videos, has had over 5 million visitors to date, and recently won the prestigious Judges Award at this year's Webby Awards. Lifelong learning is available at the click of a mouse to everybody from the OU. Internationally, we're proud of the wonderful work we do with those who need our help the most. Recently, for example, the OU has launched a raft of measures aimed at helping our students in Ukraine and those who are fleeing the war and arriving in the UK. We have financial support and assistance for existing OU students, a funding lifeline to potential students from Ukraine now living in the UK, and free online learning and partnerships with a range of support networks. Closer to home, the OU works with 21 police forces across the UK now to train the next generation of police officers. And of course, the learning doesn't stop for people in prison who want to turn their lives around. Changing lives is exactly what the Open University is all about. So in graduating today, you are a member of a university that is a world leader in technology, in innovation, and in helping people, all people, to learn. It's a movement of millions with our mission of one. In our university that believes that wherever you start in life shouldn't be any limits as to where you go. And of course, the other nice thing about being on stage at these events is it gives me a chance to talk about the host of people who have contributed to your achievement today. From the advisor who handled your first inquiry, the academics who wrote your course materials, the student services staff who supported you when you were having a really bad day and wondering why on earth you were doing this. And of course, that includes our amazing associate lecturers, people like our amazing honorary graduate, Dr. Audrey Brown, who have guided you and thousands of students like you through the whole journey, culminating in crossing this stage today. So I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to my Open University colleagues who have helped to make this possible. Thank you, colleagues. And all of our staff know how hard you've worked, what a tough triple-time journey you've been on, and we are all really proud of you. But I can't avoid acknowledging that there is one thing even harder than being an OU student. And the people behind you in that auditorium know it, because the thing that's harder is living with an OU student. I know many of you have said as you've come across the stage today that you've had incredible support from family, friends and colleagues, the people who've encouraged and enabled you to keep going with your studies. So graduates, please do see if you can spot your loved ones out in the audience, and let's give them a round of applause as well. Thank you, friends and family. You'll see in the foyer today that there's all kinds of ways that you can become an ambassador for the OU and all that we stand for. Please stay in touch. We have an alumni group on LinkedIn called Toucan. You can share your professional experience there and make new connections with other graduates. Once you've realised how boring the television is when you're not studying, you may want to try one of our free online courses, or if you've had a little while to recover, some of you, as you came across the stage today, told me you're already onto your next course. Some of you may want a bit of a break first, but you could think about continuing your studies with us. Our Alumni Association are out there and are keen to keep in touch with you. They will tell you what the association can offer and ways you can give back to the university for future campaigns. And don't forget, we've got our careers and employability stand out in the foyer as well. You get free careers and employability advice with us for 3 years after you graduate. We are really interested to understand how the unique qualities of our hard-working OU graduates help you in your careers, your life ambitions and your personal development. And the more we know and understand about what OU study has done for you, the more we can help to convince those who feel nervous or unsure about embarking on part-time learning for themselves. You're all a personification of the motto on our crest, learn and live. And I hope you are able to give something back to the world from your OU experience. Make the most of the opportunity to realise opportunities for others. Redistributing education and opportunity is as important as redistributing wealth for a better world. You may feel that the strain of studying for your degree has added a few grey hairs, but we only grow old when we lose sight of our ideals. I love Samuel Ullman's phrase, years may wrinkle the skin, but giving up enthusiasm wrinkles the soul. The spirit of youth pervades the OU, and it is a gift that you take away with you. I hope you stay forever young in your souls, generous in your hearts, and ambitious in your life goals. Would all of today's graduates who are able to do so please stand? And may I ask our assembled guests to congratulate this amazing group of individuals one last time. Well done. Congratulations, all of you. The proceedings of this degree ceremony have been completed, and I now declare this meeting of congregation closed. Would everyone who is able to do so please stand?